Hi, this is Ingrid with some great tips on preparing to be interviewed for an executive director position. I have interviewed tons of people over the years, including for executive director positions, and so I've got two main areas that I want to talk to you about as you prepare. I also have a bonus tip, so make sure you watch all the way to the end for that. Start off with, you want to research this organization backwards and forwards. So take a look at every single page on their website, look at their social media posts, everything you can possibly find about them. Then, once you've looked at all the stuff they put out, do Google searches for them, see about partnerships, and I really recommend doing a Google News search because this will show you news articles about the organization. Sometimes you can find some really interesting things, but you might also just find out about big events that they do and other things that will be helpful for you to know going into the interview. The other area that I would look at is to investigate their financials. So you can do this by looking at the 990 for the organization. There's a ton of information in there, but the thing that I would focus on is you can look at 5 years worth of income statements. So how has their income changed over time? Has it gone up significantly, down significantly? You can also look at their most recent year's worth of expenses. You can get 990s on the GuideStar website for any organization. Now that you've done a bunch of research, you've probably developed some questions of your own, and I'm going to give you a few more. When I ask people at the end of the interview, do you have any questions for us? I'm really disappointed when they say, no, you've answered everything. Because to me, that makes it feel like they haven't really prepared for the interview. Maybe they really didn't have any questions at all. And so I wonder whether they're even interested in the job. So I'm going to give you some more questions. You're not going to be able to ask all of these in the interview, but I'll give you some extras in case they answer some of them. So I would start off with asking about the board. How do they operate? How long have they been on the board? You definitely would like to hear that there are term limits and you don't have a board that's been around for 10 years with the same people, so they're maybe a little more resistant to change. Next, I would ask them how they define success for this position. If 3 people are interviewing you, you don't want to get 3 different answers. You want an answer that makes it clear that the board has actually thought about this as a whole and has an idea what they're looking for in an executive director. Another topic to ask about that could be interesting is what have they planned for professional development for this job? Any person coming in, whether they have executive director experience or a ton of experience in the particular field of that nonprofit, is going to need more training. And you want to know that the board is thinking about that and planning for it. Next, I would ask what the state of the organization finances is. Are there any large income or expenses that are coming up that are going to be changes? Certainly, are there any debts out there that you should know about? Finally, I would find out more about that previous executive director. Why is that person leaving? What are the good things about that person? What did they do well? And what are the challenges that you might be inheriting? This can be really helpful to know if you're hired, but even if you just get a second interview and you know about those challenges, you can focus on how you are a better candidate because you meet those areas. So those are the 2 areas that I would suggest to focus on, doing a lot of research and preparing good questions. Now, I promised you a bonus tip. In all of my years of doing interviews, including interviewing executive director candidates, it's very rare to get any kind of follow-up message after the interview. So if you really want to stand out, send a quick email. It does not have to be anything formal. Just an email to say, hey, I really enjoyed interviewing for this position. I enjoyed talking to you. Very interested in the job. You can restate maybe 3 or 4 points of why you are a good fit for it. And if you forgot to mention something, this is a great time to do it. Believe me, you will stand out and it'll really remind those people interviewing you that you are interested and you really care about this job. It'll make a difference. Please contact me if I can be of any help in this process. I wish you great success in your interview.